What's up, y'all? It's DJ Vlad, and recently Sean Cotton of Say Cheese and Boosie have been going back and forth online, and it was about Boosie doing interviews with me, so I figured I would chime in. Now, Sean Cotton made a video, and we'll play a clip of it, where he basically said that Boosie had messed up by no longer doing Vlad TV interviews.
I ain't trying to tell Boosie what he should and shouldn't have did, but he's gonna miss out on hundreds of thousands. Vlad's gonna make hundreds of thousands. Over $10,000, over $5,000 difference. Disagreement.
So Boosie actually responded to Sean and said that he's making tons and tons of money off doing shows, and that Sean is actually mad at him because Sean offered him $15,000 to do an interview and Boosie turned it down.
Sean Cotton. Actually, you're wrong, bro. I'm not gonna take no losses not fucking with Vlad, bro. You're wrong, bro. You're wrong, bro. That 20, 25,000, 5-6 times a year, bro, I make that in a weekend, bro. I make that 6 weekends in a row, bro.
Is that right?
I don't need a podcast to be successful, bro.
Is that right?
Like, I expect you to take your side because, nigga, you're a podcaster. But I think the real reason is you reached out to me last week trying to get an interview. And I told you no, bro. Like, you got to take that on the chin, bro. Like, don't go on the thing billing shit about me and how you feel about me. I mean, nigga, if you wanted an interview, you could pay for an interview, nigga.
Now, since I'm in the middle of this, let me go ahead and talk about this whole situation. So let's start.
Before he talks about it, I feel like Boosie really believes that what God gave him in life can't be taken away the way he's acting. I just feel like Boosie's he's not acting humble, you know? That's the vibes that I get from Boosie. That's the energy that I get. And I just want to send a message out to Boosie saying like, hey, you know, God don't like ugly. I know you heard of that. God do not like ugly. So if you start acting ugly, like you bigger than a program, like you can't be touched, God will show you can be touched. That's all I got to say.
Start with the $15,000. Now, Boosie said that he knows how much he's worth and he refuses to do interviews for $15,000. In fact, if you remember, I was paying him $25,000 and he wanted $40,000, but he would go as low as $35,000, which I turned down, which caused the split between me and Boosie.
So, that's crazy.
At this point, Boosie's being offered $15,000. So let's talk about the whole worth thing. Now, people love to say that nobody could tell them how much they're worth. But in business, that's not really the reality. The reality is you don't determine your own worth. The market does. Now, I was paying Boosie $25,000 per interview. He felt it was too low. So he went into the market. And what happened when he went into the market? He went with other outlets like Say Cheese, and Say Cheese offered him $15,000.
I offered Boosie $15,000 yesterday. He turned it down. And I think a lot of that is because of ego and pride.
Yes.
He recently said that, you know, I don't need podcasters. Podcasters need me. And I feel like he got to live on that.
So this basically proves my point. When Boosie went into the market, he saw that the rate that he was asking for was too high. So the thing is that this is not like doing shows. Boosie can get an offer from, let's say, Alabama, and they offer him $10,000. He says, well, that's too low. I want more money. He's got 100 other promoters in a bunch of other cities, especially in the South, that might offer him $20,000. So he has a lot of options. But in this space, there are not a lot of options. There's only so many podcasts. When you look at the podcast, Vlad TV has the most subscribers, so we're going to be able to offer the most. When it goes into the secondary level, people that have less followers, less subscribers, I'm not saying the quality or the content is any better or worse.
Yeah,
but
no, we get it.
They're going to have a hard time trying to make that money back. So therefore, the rate just went down to $15,000.
There you go. And Boosie should know this. What's really bothering me is the fact that Boosie's saying that he doesn't need podcasters. They need me. Boosie, with this kind of energy, with this mentality, you're headed down the wrong route. And you're getting older in life. You should be taking what you can get. This money is not going to be coming forever. You're getting older, dude. And I hope you invested your money correctly, because with this mentality, you better be smart with your money because God will take it away just like that. Mark my words, most likely, if he continues with this behavior, it will happen. I think it's coming. I don't wish nothing bad against Boosie, but I've seen people with this mentality and it doesn't end well for them. So he's going in a bad direction for sure.
So then Boosie followed up, and we'll play a clip from this also, that when he puts out his own content, he's going to make money from that content for 300 years.
The way I'm doing my interviews right now, man, 300 years from now, I'm going to be getting paid off them, bro. Every time somebody posts, it's monetized, bro. It's monetized, bro. My
That's what you believe?
grandchildren gonna make money off it, bro. It's monetized, bro.
Bro, I'm willing to bet Boosie, his name won't even be a thing in 300 years. No one will know who Boosie is. Oh my gosh, his mentality is crazy. Like, he thinks he's like a Michael Jackson or something. Like, Michael Jackson will most likely be making money, for 300 years plus. But Lil Boosie, he's not on that level.
All right, so let's be honest here. Do you think that 300 years from now, in the year 2326, somebody's gonna pay $6 to hear Boosie talk about Young Thug snitching or not? Do you think that's actually accurate?
No.
Do you think that 300 days from now, someone's gonna buy that podcast for $6? Honestly, Boosie will be lucky, as the rest of us, if someone cares 300 hours from now, which is about 12 days. Because as you know, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you, you get the big burst in the beginning with all your views. But day after day, those views go down and down and down and down. Now, on YouTube, at least, where it's free, you might get some spurts here and there. Let's just say Boosie goes back in the news and, the YouTube algorithm shows more Vlad TV YouTube videos. But when you're talking about behind a paywall, like Patreon, someone going to their pocket and paying $6 to look at someone talk about news that's old,
no,
rather unlikely, man. It's rather unlikely.
Not.
But here's the thing. If Boosie is so confident about the money he's making off putting out his interviews by himself through Patreon, post the numbers. Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong.
Fact.
Because I purchased both parts of Boosie's interview on Patreon. And I'll show the actual screen caps of it. The first interview got about 100 likes. The second interview got about 20 likes.
Damn.
That does not seem like a lot of people bought this interview. And honestly, if you ask me, my guess is Boosie probably broke even after spending money on the production of those interviews. But listen, prove me wrong. Boosie, I know you're gonna watch this. My YouTube numbers are public. My appearance fees, I've let that out in the world. Go ahead and show your Patreon back end and see how many people actually purchased the video, and show over time how that number has changed. Prove me wrong. I would love to see the actual numbers.
Yeah,
because what we're seeing right now is nowhere near the 25,000 that I was offering. But here's another important part.
25
of this
is good.
argument.
It's healthy.
Boosie says, I don't need to do podcasts because I'm making so much show money. But the reality is, the podcast never interfered with the show money. Every single time I did a Boosie interview over the course of 10 years, it was on days that Boosie did not have a show. So he was getting his show money and he was getting his Vlad TV podcast.
And also too, Boosie, right now you're relying on the show money. When you get old as 70 years old, 80 years old, and you can't get on stage and do your old school songs, you're gonna still want to make that money, right? That's when the podcast comes in, when you just sit down and do interviews. You're literally like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what Boosie's thinking, but he's an idiot, complete idiot.
Money. And he was combining those two. Here's the thing. People want to say ownership is key. It's ownership, ownership, ownership. But that's not always the best way to make money. The reality is that there's companies out there that can monetize your videos better than yourself. This is why every major Hollywood actor does deals with Netflix instead of putting out their own films. Sure, they might put out some independent projects here and there, but they'll always go back to Netflix. They'll always go back to Warner Brothers. They'll always go back to Universal to get that check, because the check that they'll get from these companies is bigger than the check that they can get on their own by putting out their own videos. So here's the thing, Boosie, If you want to make money off these videos forever, here's how you should do it. Take the Vlad TV podcast. Take the Say Cheese podcast. Go to a bunch of other podcasts that are spending different types of money. You could probably make $100,000 a month just doing podcasts. That's $1.2 million a year. Take that $1.2 million a year and invest it in some high quality stocks. Vlad Stocks, by the way, goes into a lot of detail about how I did the exact same thing. I took the YouTube money and invested into high quality companies and kept my money in those companies. And those companies made tons of money over the years. In fact, my stock portfolio right now is worth more than my Vlad TV video library. Think about that. My stock portfolio that I've been putting in from profits from Vlad TV now is worth more than the Vlad TV catalog. And this is how you could do it as well. Take the podcast money, put it into high quality companies. Some of these companies have dividends, so you'll get paid every 3 months from the profits of these companies. And if you don't sell these stocks, your kids, your grandkids, your great-great-grandkids, you can create a trust and they'll make money forever. This is how you actually do it. This is how real wealth is built. But listen, I have an even better offer for Boosie. Now you have your own platform. Now you see what goes into it. How about this? How about for the next interview, I'll come on your platform and be your first guest? Listen, I will probably be your biggest guest just because of our relationship. I will be a guest on the Boosie podcast, and then Boosie could be a guest on the Vlad TV podcast, and no money will change hands. This is how I do it with a lot of people. When you see academics on Vlad TV, he never charges me. I'll go do his podcast afterwards. Adam 22, same thing. Charlemagne, DJ Envy, we do each other's podcasts. It goes on and on. This is a better way to do it when no one has to put their hands in their pocket and pay the other person. Let's all build up our own platform the way I've been doing it for years. Now you have your own platform. Let's build that up. But let's not talk about how much money we're each going to get. Let's actually help each other. That's my offer. Boosie, ball's in your court. You have my phone number. Hit me up if you want to do it. If not, man, it's all love. You know, you've always been dope. You've always been in high demand. You've always been booked. And look, man, I'm glad you got to see what life is on the other side, which is what people like me and Sean Cotton have been living for all these years, man. That's what it is. Till next time. Peace.
I'm a jack of all trades.
Hey, that's really mature of DJ Vlad to do. Now, I'm assuming that him and Lil Boosie didn't end badly. He just cut ties. He just thought the price wasn't as high as he wanted it. But that's really mature for Vlad to do. If I were Boosie, I wouldn't be money hungry like this. He could be going through something, but I wouldn't mess up my business relationships because of some money. Especially when you're just coming from a place where you just want more. Like, come on, bro. Like, you've been making money for how long? Don't go this route where you're like, I'm not getting paid enough. Like, that's where you start to mess up your business and actually start to lose money. So it's like, don't do that. Chat, if you made it to the end of this video, let me know what you guys think. Should Boosie take Vlad's offer? What do you guys think about Boosie having this mentality? Y'all like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the crew. You already know what it do, baby boo shoot. Ooh. I will see you guys in my next video. You guys have a blessed day. I'm about this bitch. Later.
Spinning the cake, riding the cake, give me the cake, taking the bait, I get the man.